a specific type of God. If you told me that there's no ice cream in the bowl, right? And I said, tell me why there's no ice cream in the bowl. And you say, well, there's no ice cream in the bowl because strawberry ice cream is no longer in production. Now, do you see the fallacy in that?
Yes, but
So criticizing Christianity, which is one among several theistic models of reality, attempting to criticize Christianity doesn't get you to the truth of atheism unless your rationale shows that no God can exist, therefore the Christian God exists. So
okay.
you're not explaining to me how the world is not evidence for God. If I told you the world is evidence for God, you wouldn't accept that, would you?
No, because that
Okay,
doesn't make any
and would
sense.
you and would you insist that I unpack and defend that claim?
Yes.
Good. Well, you're making the same claim, but in the negative, that there's no evidence for God. Would you please explain to me how you determined that the entire world is not indicative or it stands in independence from God? Because that's your position, right?
Yes. Okay.
Good. Can you explain to me how you determine the world is independent of God?
So if God does that did exist and he's like all
No, no,
powerful and
no,
all
no, no,
good.
no, no, no. Stop. Don't give me this if
No?
stuff.
Okay.
What you need to do is if you are going to negate a proposition, any proposition, let's say the proposition is represented by the letter A. In order to falsify or negate A, you have to present not A. Okay?
Okay.
So, what is your identity statement that will function as the negation for the identity statement, which we call God?
Why is there so much pain and evil in the world?
Asking me a question is not an identity statement falsifying God as an identity statement. So I'm waiting for you to explain to me how the world that you have determined that the world is to be reckoned as independent from God. How'd you figure that out? See,
If
what I'm doing is I'm showing you the utter bankruptcy of your position. Because every time I repeat the same question over and over again, you just rabbit trail. Do you know what rabbit trailing is?
hmm
You're going onto a semi-related topic. You're not explaining to me how you figured out that any state of affairs exists with complete metaphysical independence from God. How'd you figure that out?
if evil exists, then God cannot be all powerful.
Okay. On what basis do you say that an all-powerful God couldn't temporarily, according to a plan, allow evil and then to adjudicate evil?
Well, if he created all of humanity and then he puts pain on them for something they didn't do, why would a all powerful, amazing God do that?
Do you have children?
Yes, I have one child.
Okay. Did you know before you brought another life into the world that they would experience pain?
Yes, of course,
Good.
everybody
Yeah.
experiences
Good.
pain.
Good. Good. Then you're evil for bringing that child into the world, knowing that it would experience pain.
So you expected me not to have
You
children
told. You
at all?
told. Listen to me. Did you have the power to prevent the child coming into existence, knowing that it would experience some kind of pain and even possibly great pain? Could you have prevented that?
No, but I don't have the ability
Oh,
to stop pain.
you couldn't have prevented bringing a child into the world.
Well, God could have prevented pain, but he
You're
didn't.
not. You know what you're doing. You're doing what every atheist does. That when somebody like myself prevents defeaters for your position, you're ignoring the defeater. You're not giving a rebuttal to the defeater, and then you're just going down another rabbit trail.
God gave us the ability to have kids who would experience
Okay?
pain.
Hey, listen, sweetheart, you're done because you are a
Oh,
deceitful and a devious person. Because every time I make a point to you in rebuttal to you, because I'm taking what you're saying seriously, you ignore what I'm saying and you go down a rabbit trail every time. That's the sign of somebody who's deceitful. Goodbye.
oh, okay. Jeez Louise.
You see how devious and deceitful these people are?
Yeah, every time.
Imagine somebody comes and says, "Hey, P Mars, it's Friday night and I don't want to go to a movie. How about we play you, me, and somebody else? We'll play Monopoly, right?"
Hello.
Now, what if you find out that they're cheating? Are you going to continue to play with them? No.
Or worse,
Hey,
what if it's poker?
yeah.
And there's
The
real stuff.
atheists should be ashamed of themselves, although they're not. They're utterly shameless. They are constantly being devious, deceitful, evasive, rabbit trailing, and filibustering, and they have no shame about it. And then when you confront
Guys.
them about it, when they're doing it, I'll be with you in a moment, sir. When you
Okay.
confront the atheists with their little devious behavior that is pervasive among all of the internet atheists, okay, with rare exceptions, when you confront them about it, they're either in complete denial or they're just shameless about it, and it's disgusting. Why is it that people that claim that they are on in hot pursuit of truth and reason, and they're the rational ones who are constantly being evasive, deceptive, and obfuscating and prevaricating? Gee, isn't that amazing? Go ahead, Canadian. What would you like to say?
Do you guys think that the Bible is inherent?
Do I believe in errancy? Yes, I do.
Okay. Do you believe that the Bible is univocal?
Do I believe that the Bible is univocal? You're going to have to explain to me how you're using that term.
As in, you can only get one meaning if you read the Bible.
You mean is there one basic message?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
there's one
Jesus is
basic
God,
message.
something like that.
Yeah, there's one basic message that there's a creator who made the world. He decided to create agents for whom he could fellowship with both angels and men. And some angels rebel and mankind rebel. And God implemented a plan of redemption by which he incarnated himself 2,000 years ago and rose again from the dead. And he's in the process of completing his plan of redemption, which he will then finally adjudicate all evil.
Okay. Do you guys believe that only Christians that believe that Jesus is God are saved, and all the rest of the denominations are
If,
done?
if somebody does not believe that Jesus is the second person of the Trinity, then I have good reasons as a Bible believing Christian to conclude that they don't have the Holy Spirit in their lives and they've never been truly born again.
Okay. Thanks for answering the questions like straight up. By the way, I'm just going at it.
I always do. I'm not like the atheists do who play little dodgeball all the time.
Okay, so going back to the inerrancy, do you believe that the Bible could be wrong? So, say we have an event that happened in the Bible, but we don't have much proof. Do you still believe that it happened?
Okay, so let me clarify your question. Are you asking me that could events in the past that the Bible affirms are historical events be not true?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I'm not really understanding. So you believe that everything?
Everything that the Bible affirms to be true, including past events.
Okay.
Are you? Do I think that any of those affirmations that those events are real could be false or wrong? No, I don't believe they could be wrong.
Okay. So you believe in the what's his name, Moses, in the desert with 625,000 soldiers. You believe in the flood, the ark.
I don't know what the precise number was. Do I believe the historical accounts of Moses leaving Egypt? Yes, I do.
Yeah, it's plausible. Yeah, but
No, I didn't say it's plausible. You asked me, do I believe it's historically true? The answer is yes.
oh, I didn't ask if it was. Like we could probably come to a conclusion that Moses did exist, but
Sir,
the Exodus.
am I not making myself clear? All the historical events recorded in the Bible
Mm-hmm.
that are affirmed in plain language as being actual history, I accept as true, And I therefore believe that because they're true, they cannot be false.
Do you believe that Jesus could raise people from the dead?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So when I'm talking about Matthew 27, you believe that actually happened?
You're going to have to clarify what you're referring to in Matthew 27.
So he came after, I think it was after he was resurrected, and he raised people out of their tombs, and they started wandering around Jerusalem.
Yeah, there were a number of people who had recently died, who were temporarily resurrected.
Okay. How long do you think that the flood happened for? About a year, right?
Yes.
Okay, so while the whole world was submerged while Noah was in the ark,
No. What? Yeah,
No?
I don't think
Okay.
I don't think you understand the nature of flood. Is it your impression that the water table rose and rose and rose eventually to that the level of the water around the earth was at the same level 360 degrees?
Oh, I believe that God flooded the earth.
Okay, what do you think was one of the main mechanisms of flooding the continents?
God telling Noah, go over there, I'm going to submerge the whole world.
No. What do you think
I'd rather
caused the
just listen
flooding
to
of the
scripture.
continents?
Pardon?
The Bible teaches that God made the fountains of the deep erupt. What this is referring to in biblical language is massive beyond anything we can comprehend. Excuse me, I have hiccups. Is geological upheaval. When we have massive geological upheaval, you're going to have earthquakes of unimaginable proportions that would dwarf even the greatest magnitude earthquakes that we have in the world today. Numerous recurrent earthquakes, right, would cause numerous recurrent tsunamis spilling over the edges of all the continents. When the water spills over the edge of the continent, it seeks its own level, right? And then will drain, and then recurrent tsunamis again. Then you have recurrent flooding. So the continents were flooded not just once, but over and over again recurrently.
We'd be able to measure this, you know that, right? But there's not like a lick of evidence on any sort of wall.
Okay, well, you're completely ignorant and uninformed. How old are you?
I'm 20.
Okay, the fossil record can be defended, whether you or anyone else except I can be defended as the graveyard of the flood. Do you know what the geological column is?
No, let me go search it up when we're done speaking.
Oh, okay, so you have no idea. Yeah, you say there's no lick of evidence, and yet you're speaking out of complete ignorance. Are you familiar with the Grand Canyon?
Yeah, I'm mostly going off of Bill Nye. He spoke to a biblical scholar.
Bill Nye.
The biblical scholar couldn't even go against us.
Bill Nye is an absolute ignoramus fool. Here's a man 20 or 25 years ago said that you are absolutely male or female based upon your genetics. But then the wokeness came into our culture in the last few years. He completely flipped on what he said scientifically 20 years ago.
I don't know what that has to do with his scholarship.
No. It's scholarship.
Scholarship?
Bill Nye is not a scientist.
Okay.
He only has, I believe, a bachelor's degree
Yeah, true.
in engineering.
BS. It's in science.
Yeah. No, you're not understanding. Okay.
Yeah.
As far as I know, I could be mistaken. He doesn't have a master. It's in no, it's not mechanical engineering. It's some type of engineering. Bill Nye is not a science. He calls himself Bill Nye the science guy. He's not a scientist.
Okay.
He's just a popular TV guy that promotes science for children.
Okay, well, he had a debate, and then he was showing his sources and stuff.
Yeah,
showing that we'd be able to.
Listen to me, young man. I'm 3 times your age, literally. You don't know what you're talking about. Do you have any idea what the geological column is?
No. What do you want me to search up?
So you see, the fact that you don't, when you say there's not a lick of evidence, and you don't even know what the geological column is and what its implications are and how it got there. Do you know that, are you familiar with the Grand Canyon?
Yeah.
Okay. The Grand Canyon is a cutaway section with numerous sequential sedimentary layers.
gonna go look at it right now while you.
Yeah. Where did all the sedimentary layers come from?
You could just keep going. Like I said, I don't know about like this evidence.
Okay. So when you say there's not a lick of evidence, you're speaking out of complete ignorance. What you really mean is, in your schooling, they didn't teach you that there's any geological or topographical features of the world that are indicative of a flood. And the reason why they didn't, I didn't hear you.
The what column? What's it called again?
The geological column. Now, the geological column is an artificial construct. It doesn't exist in any one place. Because there are sedimentary materials of similar composition in different places around the world, they do a thought experiment where they put them together, and they have this artificial concept of a geological column, which is supposed to allegedly and conjecturally represent different eons of time.
Okay, so may I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Okay, so whenever you're referring to a certain theory or a certain like something happening, right? You'd have to connect it to your claim. So this would be
I'm tired. I'm tired right now, but it's disappointing. Okay, you do not sound like a stupid 20-year-old. I'm not suggesting they are, but you are grossly uneducated on these issues. Okay, through no fault of your own. Can you tell me who the father of modern geology was?
Again, you're just asking for like.
Yeah, you don't know. Charles Lyell.